Hey there! So today I'm super excited to share my 30-day keto diet journey with you. I'm going to talk about what worked, what didn't work, and some of the tips that kept me going strong. So if you're thinking about starting a keto diet or you just need a boost, stay tuned because this one's for you. Also, stick around to the end and I'm going to share one of my favorite recipes that I enjoy on this diet. I call it the no crust pizza. Basically, it's like the pizza toppings without the crust. You know, you ever get one of them pizzas and the thick crust fills you up so much and you really just love the taste of that melted toasted cheese and pepperonis on top? Well, that's basically what my no crust pizza is, and you're going to love it. And by the way, if you're new here, my name's Dave, and I want to welcome you to Boomer Theory, where I dive into topics that can really make life after 50 more fulfilling. Is this the first time you've seen one of my videos? If so, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. So, why keto? Okay, just a quick backstory. I started keto because I wanted to reset my eating habits, lose a little weight, and honestly, see if all the hype around it was real. For those of you who don't know, the keto diet's really all about low carbs, moderate protein, and high fat. I'm going to show you here what the actual breakdown is, so take a look at this. All right, the idea is to get your body in what they call a state of ketosis, where it burns fat for energy instead of carbs. So basically no carbs. I looked at a lot of diet plans and healthy lifestyle options, and keto does have some real advantages. First, it requires you to cut out the carbs, and you might find that you have a food allergy really and not know it. Have you ever ate something and had stomach cramps or diarrhea or got a skin rash and wondered why? Well, maybe you'll find out. Maybe you get rid of the bread or, like you say, pizza crust, things like that. Maybe that's causing you some, maybe you're allergic. Maybe it's causing you some problems. All right. Second, keto has been shown to be effective in people with epilepsy, where it actually helps reduce or eliminate seizures. Now, please note, I'm not a expert doctor or anything like that. This is just for informational purposes, and I would just advise you for medical advice or diagnosis, please consult a professional. Okay, and then finally, what about sugar? Well, sugar is carbs, and sugar has even been thought to be very addictive. Have you ever tried to avoid sugar? If so, did you feel like you craved for something sweet? Look, again, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but I quit drinking sugary sodas and fruit drinks, and it really wasn't easy. I had some cravings there, and it took a few days to get over that, and I still think about it on occasion, so. But anyway, okay, so keto sounds kind of cool, right? But trust me, it's not all bacon and butter. You do need a plan. And now, my results so far. Drum roll, please. Okay, after 30 days on keto, I've lost 15 pounds. But beyond the number on the scale, I feel really more energetic. My cravings have completely changed, and I wake up less bloated. My focus at work, it's been next level. So yeah, keto's been a game changer for me. But it wasn't without some challenges, I'll tell you. So let's get into what helped me stay on track, okay? Okay, so here are my top 5 tips for surviving and thriving on keto. Number 1, plan your meals like a pro. Keto is all about macros, so planning is key. I used an app to track the carbs, protein, and fat and calories, and it really keeps me accountable. Oh, and meal prep saves lives, trust me. And I used keto test scripts to see if I'm producing ketones. So if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description of these keto test strips that I used. Number 2, find your go-to snacks. So when the cravings hit, I'm all about quick keto-friendly snacks. My favorites are things like artisan cheese, hard-boiled eggs, beef jerky, and celery with macadamia nut butter. Okay, it's not just peanut butter. It's definitely awesome. All right, and it's better for you. Look it up. And the next thing I'm going to tell you is if you're sweet tooth prone, try some dark chocolate. You know, if you get that, like I think, what is it, 85% cocoa, then you're going to be okay on keto. I mean, don't overdo it. Don't eat like 5 candy bars or something. But yeah, the 85% dark chocolate is fairly safe on keto. By the way, if you like a list of keto snacks, just put snacks in the comments, and I'll send you a link to my healthy snacks list. Also, take advantage of technology while you're trying to find things to eat on this diet. You know, for example, say, hey Google, is chewing sugar-free gum okay on keto?
According to Dr. Berg, yes, sugar-free and aspartame-free gum is okay on the keto diet. Birch xylitol is one of the best completely natural sweeteners for chewing gum.
Thanks, Google. Okay, tip number 3, hydrate and replenish your electrolytes. So the keto flu is a real thing, you know, when you first start out, but you can avoid it just by staying hydrated and upping your electrolytes a little bit. There's again, there's some electrolytes you can add to your water, for example. It'll flavor it. It doesn't add any carbs. I sip on water all day. And then I also take magnesium supplements every night before I go to bed. Magnesium's really been shown to help with, you know, relieving these types of symptoms. And I also drink coffee with just coffee with MCT oil in it. Sometimes I'll put a little half and half for creamer, but yeah, you can do this on keto. It really the MCT oil really helps me feel full, and I hear it may boost metabolism, which helps increase the number of calories you burn, right? So again, I'll put a link down there if you want to see what kind of MCT oil I use or you want to buy it. Look, it'll be an Amazon link. If you do buy something from me, it's going to give me a little percentage of what the sale was, but it's no additional cost to you. So, something to think about. I appreciate it. Thanks. All right. Number 4, I would tell you this. You got to get creative in the kitchen. You know, so if you're not into cooking, you might want to try and start. And, you know, because keto doesn't have to be boring. You know, I've been experimenting with recipes like beef stir fry with cauliflower rice, blackened salmon with asparagus, taco salad with these Quest protein chips. They're like Doritos, only healthy. And I've even made like oven-baked buffalo wings, crispy ones. And I can have celery and blue cheese with that. You know, so if you want to know some of these recipes, I'm happy to share them with you. You know, just drop a link, say recipes, and I'll share my recipe book with you. And then I guess tip number 5 is pretty simple. Just celebrate the small victories. You know, weight loss is awesome, right? But like I said, the keto benefits that I got goes way beyond just the weight loss. I feel energized, I sleep better, and I'm breaking that sugar addiction, which all of those are huge wins to me. So celebrate them. Okay, so let's get real. There are some challenges, and I'm going to tell you how I overcame them. You know, like I said, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Week 1, that was a little tough, you know. I was a little tired, cranky, and dreaming about bread. I love, that bakery bread, or you go to an Italian restaurant and they give you that fresh warm bread with, butter, and oh man, I love it. Well, the butter's okay for you, but not the bread, so what do you do? But anyway, by week 2, things started to click. My biggest challenge was really those social situations, parties, dinner out. So what helped? Well, I researched menus ahead of time, and I always brought like a keto-friendly dish to share when I went to a party. People really love my bacon-wrapped jalapeno poppers. They're awesome. What else? I guess I could tell you my final thoughts. Now that I hit my 30-day milestone, I'm planning to keep keto in my life. But I'm going to take a little bit more flexible approach. Think maybe 80-20, 80% keto, 20%, cheat day, something like that. My advice, give yourself some grace. If you slip up, it's okay. Just get back on track the next meal. In my first video I ever made and posted here on YouTube, it's called Warning, Big Changes Coming in 2025. And that's when I talked about things like New Year's resolutions versus goals, right? Some people, they have a resolution and they slip up, they just quit. But goals, you can have setbacks on goals. So adopt that mindset and you're going to achieve success. In fact, I actually had a cheat day. I had biscuits and gravy for breakfast and ice cream for a snack one day. I think it was last Sunday. I say I cheated, but no, I slipped up. It wasn't planned. Anyway, I added about 3 pounds to the scale the next day, but I did something they call intermittent fasting. You probably heard of it. I did that the next day where I only had like black coffee for breakfast and a grilled chicken breast with broccoli for dinner. And I did that all within a 6-hour window. So that's intermittent fasting. All right, so what's next for me? Well, I'm going to add and be consistent with that intermittent fasting alongside my keto. And I'm going to do that 5 days a week. Would you like to see a video on intermittent fasting? Just put fasting in the comments below and let me know, and I'll do a video on that. Okay, now, as promised, I'm going to give you a quick overview of my no-crust pizza. I'm going to show you here are the ingredients I use, and I'm going to just kind of go through some slides of what the process is. Nothing fancy. But anyway, if you want, this is definitely in my Healthy Snacks and Recipes book. So if you put snacks in the comments below, I'll share a link to that book for free. No charge, trust me. I'm not trying to charge anybody for anything. And like I say, the only thing is if you buy something on Amazon and you got to it from one of my links, they're going to send me something like I'll maybe make the price of a cup of coffee or something at Starbucks if I'm lucky. But other than that, I'm just doing this so I can share what worked for me and hopefully help somebody else. Okay, so here we go. First, you're going to start out by browning about a pound of hamburger. I use ground chuck. And I brown it in a no-stick skillet, and then I put a cast iron skillet. I got this 9-inch cast iron skillet. It's almost just right for like a personal pan pizza. All right, so I'll heat that up a little bit on the stove, and I'll put enough ground beef in the bottom of it to coat the bottom, and then I'll take that and I'll put it in a bowl and weigh it. So I actually am weighing it out to 6 ounces. So I'm using 6 ounces of the 1 pound of the hamburger I ground because I found that when I filled the bottom of the skillet, it was about 6 ounces of ground beef. Okay, then I'll go ahead and transfer it back to the skillet. And on a separate saucepan, I'll start, I'll put the can of tomato sauce. So it's an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, and I'll add oregano, basil, garlic powder, onion powder, some salt just to your own taste, however much salt you care to have. And then I'll go ahead and while that's heating up, I'll slice up some mushrooms and onions, if you like those. And I'll start putting the mushrooms and onions on top of the hamburger. Then I'll pour the sauce on top of that and add the shredded mozzarella, or I believe I got like the Italian blend shredded cheese. So I'll put that on top of the sauce. So I've got the mushrooms, onions, sauce, then the shredded cheese. Then finally I'll top it off with the pepperoni. So yeah, that pepperoni, once you put it in the oven, which I've heated to 425 degrees, I'll put the whole cast iron skillet in the oven and give it about 10 minutes. And once I pull it out, the pepperonis are nice and crispy. The cheese is browned a little bit, and I'll tell you, that's really awesome. Then I'll take a pizza pan so I can put the hot skillet on top of the pizza pan, and I'm ready to go. Okay, so there you have it, my no crust pizza. Definitely a winner. Make sure it's cool enough. Oh my. Bon appetit. All right, I guess that's it for today's video, but I'll be back in another month with another update on my weight loss and progress. In the meantime, you might want to watch some of my other videos, like the one I just did about why you really need a dog in your life. And if you find this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff, so you don't miss any of my updates, right? And if you got any keto tips or stories from yourself, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Hey, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.